Hello everyone, this is Amanda with the LiveCoin Q&A. I've got a little bit of a different video for you today. I'm going to be opening this package, and I usually don't say this about packages when I open them, but I'm hoping there's a counterfeit coin in here. So, in this package is supposed to be a lot of 20 Jefferson nickels. I won the auction for these at $3.40 plus $4 shipping, so I took a $7.40 gamble because I think there might be a Henning counterfeit nickel in this lot. And most of my suspicions were from me zooming in on the photos, and I'm going to put some screenshots of the nickel in particular that drew my attention. It has that look to its surface that made me think it's a Henning nickel, and it also appears to have a looped R. So without further ado, let's get into this package. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is going to be pretty easy to open because it's just a Walmart bubble mailer. I think I should just be able to tear it off up here. And then after I get the lot of coins out, because they felt like they were packaged in here. Yep, right here. I'm going to put on a glove since I think there is an expensive coin in there. Even though I did wash my hands right before this. But you never know, so let's zoom in a little. So I know there's also a couple of silver war nickels in here. Let's get into this. Well, the bag just tore open. Alright, so the one we're looking for is dated 1944. Let's see, a 1960, 1953, 55, and here is the one that I had suspicions about. Come on, focus. It says 1944, but it does not have a large mint mark. I'm not sure why it's not wanting to focus, but it does look like it has the looped R. Okay, well, it's not wanting to zoom in on it, but another thing to check is going to be the weight. So I've got my scale out. Okay, so we're at 0.0 grams. I'm hoping this might weigh a little more than 5. And 5.3 grams. That is a really good sign. Since it's not wanting to zoom in on the coin like I'm wanting it to in focus, I'm going to take some nice pictures so you can see what I'm looking at and we can discuss this coin a little more. Alright, hopefully you can see the coin a lot better now. Before I start talking about what I'm looking at, I'm going to give a brief explanation about what a Henning nickel is. It all started with a guy by the name of Francis Leroy Henning. In the 1930s, he actually began his counterfeiting career by producing counterfeit $5 bills. Since this was the 1930s, $5 was a pretty good bit of money back then, and it was considered a serious problem. He did end up being caught, tried, and sentenced to 3 years in prison. He was released from prison in 1939. After he was released, he started producing counterfeit Jefferson nickels. His counterfeits that are known to exist all bear one of 5 years: 1939, 1944, 1946, 1947, and 1953. I believe this 1944 is one of those counterfeits. There are a few diagnostics that help confirm this suspicion. The most obvious reason for suspicion is the absence of the large mint mark above the Monticello on the reverse. The second identifier that helps confirm this for me is the looped R in pluribus. This is a known dye defect that has been seen on Henning counterfeit nickels. Not all Henning counterfeit nickels have this, but when an example does have this, it greatly helps with confirmation. Examples of Henning nickels with this looped R also tend to weigh slightly more than 5 grams. They usually weigh 5.2 to 5.5 grams. This nickel weighed in at 5.3 grams, which fits right in that range. Lastly, to seal the deal, Henning counterfeit nickels are also known to have a different look to their surface. To quote Joe Cronin when he was a guest on our show, "When looking in the fields, the surface will appear porous, almost exhibiting a sandstone look." You could probably tell this 1944 matches that description while we've been looking at those full obverse and reverse photos. I've included this close-up photo so you can see just how rough the surface looks. Okay, so after looking at the coin closely and going over all those diagnostics, I think it's safe to say that this is the real deal. Not the real deal as far as it being a real Jefferson nickel, but the real deal as far as it being one of Henning's counterfeits. I'm still surprised that I found this and nobody had realized it was a Henning nickel yet. 1944 is the most easy date to recognize, and I just can't believe somebody didn't find that before now, but I am excited to have it in my collection. Before anyone asks, I did go through the rest of the nickels that were in the lot, and the most exciting finds were these 2 silver war nickels. So there's a couple bucks worth of silver there, but I think by far this one was the star of the show. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have a question about a coin or a piece of paper currency, please feel free to send us your question and your clear photos in an email to info@livecoinqa.com, and we will be happy to help you with your question. And thank you for watching.